think that if I can do this, if I can pull this project off, it's gonna be the best thing I've ever made. This is gonna be my magnum opus. Today, I'm endeavoring to make myself the most precious thing of all, a friend. If you're familiar with the Barbie fairy movies, you know Bibble. You know, he's the chunky little furry fairy sidekick that talks like, you know? He is. Everyone loves him. So you would be surprised to learn that there aren't manufactured Bibble dolls. So I'm gonna make it. I went to Hobby Lobby today and I got some supplies. Got this anti-pill, like fuzzy blanket material basically in this blue. I also got 2 sheets of purple felt for his little feet. Also got, somehow, they had this perfect faux fur at Hobby Lobby. And it's like, it's gonna be the perfect size for the fur that's on top of his head. I also got just a 1/4 yard, this like shiny silver material for his wings, but his wings are really small. So I'm going to use polyfill stuffing for his body, and I'm gonna probably use quilt batting for his wings. I cannot confirm or deny if I've ever made a plush of any kind before. I've definitely made some dolls. I made this little mermaid girl, this little pilgrim looking thing. I also made 2 dolls of my high school government econ teacher. The first without his knowing and the second upon his request. But they were all based on that pattern, which is just completely flat. So I need to figure out how a teddy bear works. I understand the concept. Have I ever made one before? I'm really excited. I hope I don't mess it up, so wish me luck. As I'm denoting here, I was quite confused, but I jumped in like a real champ. You can see my reference for the pieces that I'm drawing, but I really have no idea what's going on. I used my Squishmallow Funky Nuts for reference. That's not the name that she came with, but I mean, it's better, right? Funky Nuts? That's hilarious. Okay, so. And then here's my first attempt. I was not satisfied with the head, so I tried a different approach as well. This one has 3 pieces, so yeah. This is so upsetting to look at. Somehow I think this one looks more like him. I really thought this one was gonna look more like him. This looks like someone, I don't know who. It's still not quite right. It's very upsetting to me. Hold on one second. So I made another little ditty in the same vein as the second mock-up, and this Bibble makes a wonderful baseball. I think we're getting closer. I'm gonna take one more approach. Actually, probably more than that, but... This is the next one. So close. Fit check. I did one more mock-up the day before, and that's the one I decided to replicate for the actual pattern, but first I wanted to size it up. So I marked where all the seams and darts were with Sharpie so that I could see where they are when I disassembled the boy. Then I did the best to size up the pieces to be appropriately Bibble sized, and these are the pieces that I ended up with. So the good news is, I think I figured out the head. I like the size, I think it's a pretty decent shape. If I can get the middle part symmetrical and the side pieces matching, I think it'll look great. I think it'll look awesome. Bad news, I don't know what I did to the body. That's crazy, right? What did I do? What? I think we're just gonna start from scratch with this one. I did start from scratch, and this time I made some little Bibble arms. Little Bibble arms. Bibble arms. Look at him. Tell me right now that's not Bibble. Tell me that's not him. I mean, he's a little bit of work, but like, that's him, right? So great news. That bottom part was the problem. No idea. I have no idea how this happened, but I don't need it anymore. It's less work for me. I think this is it. I think I've done it. I think I've done it, and I think I've done it. And I think that we're gonna move on to the blue fabric. Looks so funny. I need to take those hips in a little bit. He's a little bit too voluptuous. That's so funny. That's him. That's him. Come on. He's gonna be so snuggly. So I disassembled a final Bibble mock-up, and so I have all my pieces, and so I'm just gonna cut them out now, and you can watch. Maybe my SD card might run out of storage. Living in a daydream. Beautiful angle. Finally, I started cutting out the pieces from the blue fabric. I set it aside for the next day, and there they were when I got back to it. I marked where all the darts are in Sharpie, then I started assembling the pieces with the... Now, once I stuff the little Bibble arms, I sew some little channels into the hands to denote fingers. Warning, making his little arms will bring you so much joy. It's crazy. Then I sew the torso together and I place the little Bibble arms in the main seam of that. Then we sew the head together, and I don't know where my brain was at this point, but once I finished the head, there was only one thing I could be compelled to do with it. So let's play around with Spot the Difference, super extra expert hard mode. This is where we are with Bibble, but wait. Before we stuff him, we have to attach his hair, this shiny stuff for his wings. We gotta use our purple felt to make his little tootsies. I started with the wings. I drew out about the size and shape I wanted and cut that out for the pattern. You're gonna cut two of both halves of the wings and plus a pair of wings out of the quilt batting. Basically, you're gonna sew one full pair of wings, and then you're gonna sew the other two pieces to the full wings, but leaving that middle line open so you can turn it inside out and stuff the quilt batting in there. And once you've done that, you're gonna stitch that opening close. So we're gonna fold the wings in half and stitch down the spine. Then you're gonna seam rip the middle back seam open and then place the wings in that seam and stitch it back together. For the feet, just cut a little oval on the size you want the sole of his foot to be. Then you just need a strip of fabric that's long enough to wrap around that oval. Then at the front of the foot, you want to sew that strip together in a slope towards the ankle. Then you're going to turn them inside out, do a little jig with them. You have to, it's not skippable. And then you're going to stuff them with polyfill. Now it's time to sit down on the couch in the dark. And use whatever stitch you want to tack down the purple fur onto his head. Like I say, this did involve a little bit of trimming. There's actually 3 pieces of fur to cover the surface of his head, but I simply did not video that part. Then, since I had a bunch of felt left from the feet, I cut out his little spots and tacked them down onto his back and belly. Then I stuffed his head and body. My camera ran out of storage, so I was videoing this on my computer. And I just stitched my boy together. Have 2 pieces of really good news. First being, I finally figured out the brightness on my camera, so I'm not gonna have just insane shadows on the screen for the rest of the time. Other good news. Look at this boy. Oh my goodness. His little feet, his little arms, look at his wings. Look at his wings! I'm so happy. Okay, all that's left now is his face, unfortunately. I have no idea how I'm gonna do his face. The eyes are gonna be the make or break situation. I think that he has really, really distinct eyes. And that's what's really gonna make him look like Bibble. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to Walmart. I'm dressed up for Walmart. I'll see what I get. There were a few good options at Walmart, but I ended up going with these white iron-on patches, and I just planned on painting Bibble's eyes on them with acrylic paint. I thought that would be the easiest way to make his eyes look as close to the real Bibble as possible. I drew the eye with pencil and I painted it on. Not much to say about it, but you can watch the process if you'd like. A very important part you don't want to miss is adding eyelids. I got some scrap blue fabric and I traced the rough size and shapes of the eyelids that I wanted, and I tacked them down onto the patches before attaching them to the Bibble's head. So I have no idea if this is going to work, but these are iron-on patches I'm using for the eyes, so I'm going to try and iron them. Probably would work better if I hadn't already sewn the fully stuffed head onto the body, but I'm going to try it at least first. Also, it will help set the acrylic paint that I use, but I'm probably also going to stitch around it anyway. Poor boy.
You heard that, right?
Poor boy.
That was a voice. That was like a man's voice. It was not my voice. It was no one that I know's voice. And I know, as a matter of fact, I was home alone with no one but my dog.
Poor boy.
But that's a voice.
Poor boy.
So yeah, my house is haunted. Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
It's working. A little worried I might have melted his hair a little bit. Oh, they're so crooked. That's adorable. I'm gonna stitch them all the rest of the way. Now you may think you're beyond playing baby with a stuffed animal or a doll, but you try controlling yourself when you have this little love muffin in your arms. Shut up. Anyway, I am just guessing, as is tradition here, but basically I'm using my very limited knowledge of embroidery to add Bibble's iconic eyelashes. This is so aggressive and surgical to rewatch. But next I used a tiny bit of scrap felt I had for his nose, and then I used the same black embroidery floss for his little smile. And with that, we have made ourselves the most precious thing of all. Not just a Bibble. Not just a friend. But a son.
Me and my son, me and my son, me and my son, me and my son. I love my son, I love him. I love my son, I love my boy. I love him. He's got my eyes, he's got my nose, he's got my smile, he's got my heart. I love him. He's my little champ, he's my Pookie Poo. To my son I love you. I love you. I love him.
Bibble? Bibble? You're not supposed to be in here. Oh. You found him, did you? I know, boy. I know. Come here. I did it all for you. I did it all for you.
Me and my son, me and my son, me and my son, me and my son. I love my son, I love him, I love shed eggshell.